Hey, thank you for joining me. For those of you who are here, I see Herman and Daniel. I know this is kind of a spontaneous live session. After doing the 14-day challenge, I was like, oh man, I miss going live. But I also have a course that was launched a few days ago that I just wanted to talk about a little bit more. I did on Saturday launch a course called Design Your Own Piano Path, and that's been going really, really well. So the reason I wanted to talk about it today and answer some questions, because I've been receiving a ton of emails with questions. And I basically just wanted something that I could refer people to, but also to see if there are any other questions that come up about it. And the reason I wanted to hop on and talk about that today is because a couple parts of the course are basically time sensitive and they're going to disappear in a couple days because it involves live Q&A sessions and like one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that yeah, we had a chance to talk about it before those disappear. I don't want to get any angry emails, the day after it closes saying, oh, I didn't know this was going to close. I wanted to make sure that you were all on board with it. So anyway, okay, so one of the biggest questions that I've been asked about this course so far is, what sheet music does the course have? Does it, what pieces of music are you teaching in it? And the Design Your Own Piano Path course is totally unique in that it's not a method. It doesn't have any sheet music. There's no pieces to learn or things like that. So I do a lot more discussing on the what to learn as opposed to the how to learn. So if you pick up a method book like Alfred's or Piano Adventures or, many of the methods online, they kind of show you the how. They'll show you, here's all of the pieces you need to learn in order to become better at the piano. And they take you through it step by step. All the things that we've talked about on Piano TV before, like how to do the right rhythm, count, pedal, just all those actual playing things. What I do in this course, and this is why it's applicable to people of a lot of different levels, is show you how to basically teach yourself, how to wade through the resources and the material and stuff that exists out there on the internet, and how to, and not the internet. I actually, I draw this from my own experiences as a piano teacher for the last 15 years. And my teaching experience has been pretty focused on more of a classical style approach to learning piano. So I use the RCM system. I'm pretty familiar with the ABRSM as well. I don't use a lot of online resources. At least I haven't really explored them in full as a piano teacher. So the course tends to be more leaning in the, how to learn based on like the traditional model, which I think is still really useful and relevant. I know there's all these new modern newfangled things on the internet. Look at me, I sound like an old lady when I say that. But I know there's a lot of apps. So I'm familiar with Flowkey and I'm familiar with Piano Marvel. But there's a lot of other apps out there and a lot of other methods and stuff, a lot of which you guys have talked to me about. I've received a lot of emails from you guys just asking about other methods that exist online and just bringing my attention to them, which is really, really nice actually, because then I don't have to go find it all myself. You guys are kind of showing me what to look at. But anyway, the gist of it is it's a course that doesn't give you sheet music. It doesn't give you tutorials. It's a course that shows you how to find sheet music, how to pick music that's appropriate for you, what you should be learning at the different levels, how the different levels work, and all that stuff. So more information you can find on the link that I have below in the description box. Another question that I've been getting asked a lot in the last few days is, what level is the course best for? So I've been working with about 40 students with this content for the last 6 months. And none of them were really complete beginners. Most of them had been playing for at least, half a year. I don't know that it might be overkill for someone who's just getting started, unless you're a really motivated person who wants to, make sure that from day one, you're knowing what you're doing and where you're going. But I haven't personally worked with the content with people who are complete beginners. So I can't speak to that. I also think that people who are more advanced, so anyone kind of at that grade 9, grade 10 level, diploma level, I don't know that this will be as valuable just because I haven't really worked with students at that level with this content. So most of my students who I've been working on with this are kind of in that beginner to intermediate range. Basically, they're generally from like a grade 1 to a grade 7 level. And it seems to be going really well for them. But yeah, if you're that's about as broad as it gets. If you're outside on the other end of it, it might be not exactly what you're looking for. So I just wanted to be really clear about that. I got distracted by Aya's Niku. I have no idea what you're saying in all caps, but that was it definitely caught my eye. That was distracting. And then another question that I was asked too, and I never want to. It's tricky when releasing a course because you never, well, at least I never want to do any deceptive marketing tactics or anything like that. I really think that if you're interested in the course, you can buy it. And if you're not interested, I don't want to force you to buy it or like pull a bunch of maneuvers on you. And one criticism I received is that I had testimonials on the course page. They're like, you haven't even released this product. How could you possibly have testimonials? So I just wanted to address that in a really clear way that these are the people. So like I mentioned, the 40 students that I've had for the last 6 months going through this content, it's from those people. So they're the people that I've actually been teaching privately, building relationships with, who have been going through the course content. So they're legit testimonials. They're not just like, pulling random people out of a hat or something like that. So I just wanted to be clear about that. I'm not trying to, be tricksy or anything like that. So, oh, cool, John. Yeah, I recognize your name from joining up. So that's really great to see that you've been enjoying it so far. There's more all caps from. Okay. So that's basically what I wanted to. Those are the questions, the main ones that I wanted to answer. So now I can refer this YouTube video for the people who asked me them. But do you guys in the chat here? It looks like there's a few of you online. Do you have any questions related to the course? And if you don't have any questions related to the course, that's fine too. We could always talk about, I don't know, whatever you guys want to talk about. I didn't really think beyond just discussing a few of these questions. So, yeah, so Jim's saying I've had lessons for a year and a half, so I feel confident. I'd enjoy finding the pieces to play from your content. Awesome. Yeah, a year and a half is a pretty, I would say most of my students that I've been working with have been kind of in like more on that end of the spectrum. So basically from like 6 months to 2 years in the earlier stages. So you can get more information in the description bar. I think you can still access the description bar when we're live, but either way, it'll be at the bottom of the YouTube video. It's pianotv.net/pianopath. And this course is available forever. Like I'm not going to take it away, but there are there's 3 tiers. So the kind of baseline tier, the standard one, is around forever. So you don't have to worry about being rushed or anything. The other 2 are going to disappear. Those are kind of the higher level ones. And the only reason is because it's, like I said, it's time sensitive stuff. So we're going to be doing group Q&As in March and April. We're going to do private sessions and match people up in groups. And that kind of has to happen on a timeline. So that's the only reason that I'm not leaving those ones open. Also, there's only so much I can do. I feel like I'm already kind of on the brink of my capabilities. I like being busy and I like, doing things and all that, but there's only so many people I can coach. So those ones kind of have to disappear. So Rhapsody, I'm just going to read a couple questions. So Tim's saying, oh yeah, hi. You're taking private lessons from me. You're learning a lot. It's worth it. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm glad you feel that way. Rhapsody, how does a student determine what % they have reached on a particular piece? I should do like an entire video on that. I should even write this down after we're done talking because I get asked that all the time too, actually. It kind of varies from piece to piece, but I would consider a piece finished when it's at the 80% level. And then from there, the student has a choice whether or not to perfect it or polish it, which would be getting it to about that 90% level. So 80% for me is like, this is pretty good. We can leave it. You've extracted the essential lessons from this piece and there's no need to keep drilling it down further. The 90% level is like, this is definitely ready for an exam or a festival or a performance. And I generally find that getting it from the 80 to 90% to take almost as much time as getting from 0 to 80%. So it's really only something I like to do with the pieces that I really love, maybe like 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 pieces that you're working on. But to know if you're kind of at that 80% level, is it mostly up to speed? If it's a really fast piece, it might not be fully up to speed, but is it close? So if you're doing, Bergmüller's Arabesque, is it around like 110? I would say that would be like a pretty good 80% tempo. Is it relatively fluent, but maybe there's just a few mistakes? It might not be a perfect performance, but it's like generally pretty good and coherent. Are you getting all the details? Again, there's room for a few slips, but are you getting like the staccatos, the legato markings? Are you getting the dynamics and those details? Those would all be things that I'd say that, and the most important point is, have you extracted the value for the piece? So if you're doing Bergmüller's arabesque, one of the main points of that arabesque is to work on your 16th note patterns. And to be able to do like a really fast action with your fingers, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. So if you feel like you've kind of got that part figured out, then I would consider it finished because you've extracted the main value from the piece. So that's something to look forward to. That was a really long answer to your question, but I think it is a really important question, and then people ask me a lot. So thank you for asking that. Denise is wondering, do you think it's possible to learn transcendental etudes with synesthesia? That would be insane. I think that would be totally insane. I can't say if it's possible or not, though. So yeah, I just think that would be really, really difficult. It's like Guitar Hero and like extreme, absolute maximum difficulty. That's why I think learning how to read sheet music is so good, because I think using your ear or apps like Synesthesia and stuff would be really challenging to do the high level pieces with. But prove me wrong. Happy birthday, Grace. Kayla's wondering if I passed my RCM 10. I did the first time I took it. I got a 68, but I haven't retaken it yet. So I know I broke my vow. I said I was going to retake it in January, but I got really distracted with songwriting and working with my band and stuff like that. So I'll get to it. But I just wanted to ride the wave of inspiration for songwriting. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to just kind of leave it there, you guys. Usually I like to wrap these live sessions up at around the 10-minute mark. Otherwise, it gets way too rambling. I don't usually like to make huge videos when I can help it, because, I mean, we all have limited time availabilities and stuff like that. So anyway, thanks for joining me. And feel free to email me also if you have any other questions. And I'll try to keep answering them. I've been pretty heavy in my inbox lately, just to make sure I'm getting to all your questions and stuff like that. So yeah, feel free to email me, ally.pianotv@gmail.com if you have any questions about this stuff. And of course, the course that I've been talking about is linked in the description bar below, pianotv.net/pianopath. And yeah, that'll give you all the information. So thanks for joining me. It's so cool that I can kind of just randomly hop online, and it looks like about 50 of you made it here today. So really nice to see you. And yeah, lots of familiar faces. Oh, I see Shams on here too. So that's kind of, yeah, lots of familiar faces, and that's always a lot of fun.